All right, let's peel back the layers on something truly captivating today. We all seek those shortcuts, don't we? That fast track to being well-informed, to grasp the essence of a complex story without getting lost in the weeds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, today's deep dive is precisely that, but with a thrilling, chilling twist that's going to challenge everything you thought you knew about trust, identity, and, well, the darkest corners of the human psyche.
Mm-hmm.
We are plunging headfirst into Freida McFadden's contemporary psychological thriller, The Tenant, specifically exploring its intricate plot from Chapter 1 right through to Chapter 68.
It's a wild ride.
Oh, it is. This is a story that promises an intense, mind-bending journey, and we're here to guide you through its most potent insight.
And our mission for you, our listeners, not just to retell the story, but to really extract the most impactful insights from this gripping narrative.
Right.
We'll be dissecting the nuanced layers of psychological manipulation, exploring how easily trust can be shattered, completely shattered, and witnessing the systematic, shocking unraveling of a life.
It's brutal.
It really is. And what's particularly fascinating about McFadden's thrillers, as she herself points out, is their unique ability to deliver high tension without resorting to, graphic violence or explicit sex.
Yeah, that's a key point.
Which raises a crucial question right from the start. How does a thriller maintain such a vice-like grip on its audience, building dread and suspense so effectively without relying on those more traditional shock tactics?
Good question.
McFadden's genius, and the core insight here, I think, is demonstrating that the most chilling terror often doesn't lie in physical violence, but in the insidious, methodical, psychological dismantling of a person's reality.
Absolutely, the mind games.
Exactly. She proves that a vice-like grip can be achieved purely through the power of mind games, making the internal psychological impact far more unsettling and memorable than any physical depiction.
I see what you mean about the insidious power of mind games. It's almost more terrifying when the danger comes from within your own home, from someone you're supposed to trust.
Completely.
And at the heart of it all is our protagonist, Blake Porter. A man who believed he had it all, now just teetering at the precipice of a dramatic fall.
Yeah, a huge fall.
The central question that will keep you absolutely hooked, I promise, is this. How quickly can a seemingly perfect life crumble? And maybe even more profoundly, who is truly responsible for such utter devastation when the perpetrator is hiding in plain sight?
Right under his nose.
Get ready, because the story twists and turns with relentless precision, challenging your perceptions from the very first page. And by the end of our deep dive into these key chapters, you'll have a profound understanding of how easily reality can be manufactured and trust betrayed. So to really understand how everything unravels, we have to go back to Blake Porter's world before the fall, when he felt completely in control.
The setup.
Exactly. Blake, in his own words, came from nothing. He's a quintessential self-made success story, meticulously building a career from the ground up until he achieved his dream position, vice president of marketing at Cobble & Roy.
Big deal job.
Huge. Imagine this. A phenomenal office overlooking the New York City skyline. A plush leather desk chair that probably cost more than his first car, right? And a nameplate proudly declaring Blake Porter, vice president.
Living the dream.
Totally. And of course, he has a fiancée, Krista, whom he absolutely adores, and a beautiful Upper West Side brownstone. His ambition is palpable, deeply rooted in a desire to provide a better life than his parents had, to never again worry about the lights being shut off.
That's a key motivator for him.
He had, by all appearances, achieved the American dream.
But that meticulously constructed life, that sense of absolute control, is precisely why the abruptness of his downfall is so jarring, so psychologically impactful. Blake's world is just shattered in an instant.
Gone.
He's called into his boss, Wayne's office, not for a promotion celebration, but to be accused of the unthinkable. Stealing and sharing the Henderson campaign with competitors.
Devastating accusation.
Wayne's words are brutal, delivered without a shred of empathy. You're fired, Porter. Pack up your office and get out. What's particularly cruel and truly hammers home the public humiliation is that it happens. Even though it's 6 p.m, practically everyone is still at the office, and all of them just heard every word of what happened.
Oh, the walk of shame. Awful.
His decade of loyal service, his carefully built reputation, gone in a single scathing accusation. This public shaming is a critical first strike, not just against his career, but against his very sense of self-worth.
That profound sense of injustice. And that moment he stares out at the skyline and understands his predecessor, Quigley, who, tried to take that nosedive from the very same window. That's the precise moment Blake's internal narrative begins to shift, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's a psychological earthquake.
His initial reaction is pure disbelief and white-hot anger, of course. But then, as he stands in his now-lost office, staring out at that iconic New York City skyline, something chilling shifts inside him. This isn't just sadness. It's a profound, almost terrifying realization, an understanding of absolute despair. This immediate, deep shift completely strips him of his former confidence and creates an extreme vulnerability.
He's exposed.
He's no longer the golden boy. He's a man who has stared into the abyss, making him perfectly susceptible to the insidious machinations that are about to unfold.
That's a crucial point, because it signals a fundamental shift in his internal landscape. His ego has been utterly shattered, stripping away his confidence and leaving him with this profound sense of despair.
Yeah.
This isn't just sadness, it's a dangerous level of emotional fragility that Krista, the master manipulator, is expertly poised to exploit.
Oh, yeah.
His unemployment quickly becomes a stark and unforgiving reality. He's been unemployed for 62 days, a number he claims he isn't even counting, but clearly is, indicating his burgeoning obsession and anxiety.
Right, the denial.
His savings dissipate with alarming speed, and the mortgage on their Upper West Side brownstone is eating up my whole paycheck. He can't even afford central air in the stifling August heat, a trivial detail that sharply contrasts with his previous luxury and underscores his rapid descent.
That detail really hits home.
This immediate financial pinch directly taps into his deep-seated fear of insecurity, a primal fear rooted in his childhood, watching his father struggle.
Right. The hardware store.
To keep their hardware store afloat and constantly worrying about the lights being shut off. This reawakened vulnerability, this desperation, becomes a potent weapon against him.
Desperate, yes. But it still strikes me as a huge leap for Blake, a man so obsessed with privacy and control, to agree to a tenant. What do you think finally pushes him over that edge, beyond just the finances?
Well, throughout this mounting crisis, we see Krista, his fiancée, trying to be supportive. Or so it appears.
Appears being the operative word.
Right. She manages a dry cleaning store herself, so she understands hard work and financial realities. Their relationship initially seems robust, built on these sweet, intimate conventions, like their 10-point scale for hugs.
Yeah, I remember that. A nice little detail.
A simple yet telling way to gauge how much comfort the other needs. Krista's concern grows, though, as Blake struggles to find a new job. He quickly realizes his old boss, Wayne, has talked shit about me all over town, effectively blacklisting him.
Yeah, reputation ruined.
Every door is closing. It's the cumulative pressure, truly. The financial strain is immense, yes, but also the psychological burden of his reputation being destroyed, the feeling of being utterly powerless.
That's a perfect storm.
It's a calculated erosion of his resistance. And this brings us to the crucial turning point, the decision that, unbeknownst to Blake, irrevocably changes their lives.
The tenant.
Krista, seeing their financial situation worsen, suggests taking in a tenant. Blake resists vehemently at first. He values their private life, their independence, the sense of having built something just for them.
He clings to that control.
He clings to the illusion of control. But the financial pressure is immense, a visceral fear he's carried since childhood, and eventually he concedes, saying, fine, let's get a tenant.
Just gives in.
This decision, born purely of financial desperation, is the unwitting portal through which their lives will be completely upended. It's the first domino to fall in a meticulously planned scheme, a step Krista knew he would eventually take once sufficiently cornered.
Wow.
Calculated.
It's a testament to how desperation can force individuals to compromise on their deepest values, paving the way for manipulation.
And what a portal it proves to be. The tenant search itself begins with this, truly bizarre parade of prospective renters. It's almost theatrical.
Oh, yeah, it's weird.
One memorable example is Elizabeth, a woman who shows up dressed in at least 3 robes, her hair frizzy from the humidity, exuding this unsettling aura.
She seems perfectly amiable until she shakes Krista's hand and immediately yanks hers away, as if she's been scalded. Then she declares the place too small, which is absurd for a New York brownstone, and then ominously asks to speak to Krista outside.
Yeah, super strange reaction.
It's an incredibly strange, almost performative exit that sets an unsettling, almost I don't know, supernatural tone for the entire process.
What's so clever about this, looking back with the full picture, is that Elizabeth's dramatic, fear-inducing exit is later revealed to be an entirely orchestrated event.
No way.
Meticulously designed by Krista. It wasn't a genuine psychic reaction to the house. It was a carefully constructed performance intended to create fear and unease.
Okay, why? What was the point?
This tactic serves a dual purpose. First, it makes Blake even more desperate to find anyone suitable, lowering his guard. Second, it primes him to view later, seemingly normal candidates as a godsend by contrast.
Ah, setting the stage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This immediately introduces the underlying theme of manufactured reality within the thriller, that what Blake perceives as reality is often a carefully constructed illusion manipulated by the person closest to him. It's a chilling demonstration of how easily external perceptions can be shaped.
And that godsend comes in the form of Amanda Lenhart, who, unbeknownst to Blake, is posing as Whitney Cross.
The imposter.
Her initial impression is almost too perfect. Around our age, maybe 30th, with straight light brown hair, dressed simply in blue jeans and a hoodie.
Seems normal enough.
Blake immediately finds her pretty and admits she's just my type, which, even to him, registers as an immediate red flag for his relationship with Krista and a pang of guilt. It's a small internal transgression.
Little flicker.
He also can't help but notice her minimal belongings. Everything this girl owns doesn't even fill the back of a Pinto. It's an early detail that hints at a hidden past, right? A life that can be packed up and moved quickly.
Definitely suspicious in hindsight. Makes her an ideal pawn for Krista's larger scheme. This raises a truly important question. Why does Krista, who initiated this tenant search and should ideally be protective of her relationship, seem to actively encourage Amanda's presence, even when Blake voices discomfort or expresses his fleeting attraction?
Yeah, that seems counterintuitive.
Her apparent trust in him, despite his own internal thoughts about Amanda's attractiveness, becomes a crucial, almost ironic element of the unfolding deception.
So he rationalizes it.
Yeah, Blake reassures himself, it's not like I'm going to mess around with the girl we live with right under my own fiancé's nose. I'd have to be not only the world's biggest asshole, but also a complete idiot.
Famous last words.
Little does he know, Krista's trust is part of a much darker design, a deliberate maneuver to place temptation in his path and set the stage for accusations of infidelity later. This isn't trust, it's calculated entrapment.
As Amanda settles in, the real torment begins, systematically. It's a rapid succession of small, irritating events that methodically chip away at Blake's sanity.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Pretty much. First, it's the hot water running out during his shower, then his personal soap and shampoo bottles suddenly being completely empty.
Annoying, right?
These aren't just minor annoyances. They're specifically targeted jabs at Blake's innate need for control and cleanliness, which we know are deep-seated traits for him.
Pushing his buttons.
The last straw, though, is his cereal box, also empty, which drives him to hurl it at the floor, scattering frosted flakes everywhere. It's a moment of disproportionate rage, indicating how close he is to snapping.
Losing it over cereal.
These seemingly trivial acts are actually calculated psychological jabs designed to erode his mental stability.
And that's precisely the point. These are not random occurrences. Looking at this from a broader perspective, these are meticulously planned, subtle acts of sabotage orchestrated by Krista herself.
Krista's doing this stuff.
Oh, yeah. She purposefully mixes limon-containing detergent into Blake's hypoallergenic one, knowing he's extremely allergic, which results in a horrendous rash.
Oh my God, that's awful.
This is particularly cruel, as it targets his physical well-being. She deliberately leaves rotting food in the fridge, breeding fruit flies that are still freaking everywhere, knowing his obsession with cleanliness will drive him mad.
The fruit flies, he hated those.
This isn't just cruel, it's a textbook example of gaslighting in action. Krista understands that by constantly planting false evidence and then creating plausible deniability, she can force Blake to question his own memory and perception.
Making him think he's crazy.
These seemingly trivial acts are part of a sophisticated, targeted campaign to unravel his mental state, making him appear erratic and untrustworthy to those around him, especially to Amanda.
Driven to his breaking point by these constant irritations, Blake confronts Amanda at her workplace, Cosmo's Diner.
Bad move.
Yeah. His intention is just to set boundaries, right? To regain some semblance of control, telling her, I actually don't think it's a good idea for us to be sharing anymore. I think it would be better to keep things separate from now on.
Sounds reasonable on paper.
But the interaction is a complete disaster, a public spectacle. Amanda snaps back with a venomous, "You came here and interrupted me at work to tell me that."
Oof, that's harsh.
It's a moment of profound public humiliation for Blake, further widening the chasm between them and reinforcing his belief that Amanda is the source of all his problems.
Which is exactly what Krista wants. What's so clever about this, from Krista's perspective, is that she wants this conflict. She later leverages it to her advantage, carefully shaping Amanda's perception of Blake.
How so?
She tells Amanda that Blake is not an easy man to get along with, and subtly hints at his supposed wrongdoing by mentioning there was an incident, referring to his firing.
Planting doubts.
This plants seeds of doubt about Blake's character in Amanda's mind. Moreover, Krista actively uses sticky notes, seemingly from Blake, with passive-aggressive messages like, "Stop leaving the light on," or "Request permission before using our television."
Oh, the sticky notes. He didn't write those.
Nope, all Krista. These notes are designed to make Amanda look like she wants to strangle him with her bare hands, further cementing the manufactured animosity and ensuring neither Blake nor Amanda would trust the other.
Wow. Isolating him completely.
It's a masterclass in gaslighting and manipulation.
Blake's professional life continues to spiral downwards, mirroring the chaos in his home. His temp job, a fragile lifeline after his spectacular fall from grace, is also jeopardized.
Just keeps getting worse.
Stacy, his former boss's secretary, expresses worry after his firing, a subtle hint that the rumors are still swirling. Then Kenny, his current boss, confronts him directly, echoing Wayne Vincent's accusations. "You ripped off your own company."
Oh, man. Not again.
Blake is now not just unemployed and facing financial ruin, but effectively blacklisted. His professional reputation is completely shredded. It's a meticulously executed character assassination.
That's a key point because it deepens his despair and reinforces the narrative that he's a fundamentally dishonest person, which makes his later, more outlandish claims about Amanda seem even less credible.
Right, no one would believe him.
The conversation with Malcolm, Becky's husband, and ironically, Blake's replacement in his former VP position,
Adding insult to injury.
further fuels Blake's despair and deepens the mystery of his downfall. Malcolm reveals he now holds Blake's former VP position and shares the unsettling rumors that Blake stole his ideas and passed them off as your own.
That's gotta sting.
This is a devastating blow, confirming that the damage to his reputation is widespread and deeply ingrained. This particular revelation makes you wonder, who benefits most from Blake's utter ruin? As we'll see, the web of connections is far more intricate than Blake can possibly fathom at this stage.
Krista's reach is long.
Very long, highlighting how far-reaching her manipulations are, extending beyond just their home.
The psychological warfare escalates dramatically and cruelly with the death of Blake's beloved goldfish, Goldie.
Oh, poor Goldie.
Krista, appearing heartbroken, conveniently finds a bottle of bleach in the closet. Blake immediately suspects Amanda, claiming she murdered Goldie, but Krista dismisses his suspicions as ridiculous conspiracy theories, further isolating him in his paranoia.
Gaslighting again. It's all in your head, Blake.
The subsequent funeral for Goldie, bizarrely orchestrated by Amanda, only exacerbates Blake's rage and feelings of isolation, solidifying his belief in Amanda's malice and making him look even more unhinged to Krista.
This is a pivotal moment for Blake's descent into perceived madness. He's now being accused not just of being a thief and a cheat, but of spiraling into outright paranoia.
Yeah, he sounds crazy.
Krista, his supposed ally, capitalizes on this, remarking on his increasingly erratic behavior. "You barely sleep. You're always ranting and raving about something, including noises during the night that nobody can hear but you."
But he is hearing noises, right?
He is. What Blake doesn't know, and what's truly insidious here, is that this is all part of Krista's plan. She uses a phone to play ominous thumping noises from the closet on the 3rd floor, making it sound like the noise is coming from Amanda's room.
Oh my God, that is next level.
Thus further making Blake appear unhinged to both Krista and Amanda. It's a deliberate campaign to erode his credibility and self-perception, convincing him and others that he's losing his grip on reality.
The relationship with Krista, the last bastion of his former life, deteriorates dramatically, pushed over the edge by seemingly irrefutable evidence.
The final straw for their relationship.
She finds lipstick on Blake's collar, the same shade as on your shirt collar. And then, to Blake's horror, his phone in Amanda's bed.
Planted, of course.
These are the planted proof that trigger her tearful accusation. "Is this why you've been acting so weird about Whitney? Are you sleeping with her?" It's a calculated, devastating betrayal designed to completely isolate Blake.
And completely break him.
The emotional impact on Blake is immense. He feels his world shattering around him, and the person he loves most has turned against him.
What's truly insidious about this is Krista's meticulous framing and preparation. She ensures Blake sleeps soundly by using sedatives in his cookies.
Sedatives? Where did she get those?
Which she managed to get a prescription for by faking sleep problems.
Yeah.
This guarantees he is unconscious, while she plants the evidence, making his denial seem all the more implausible.
Unbelievable planning.
Her departure is then staged as a heartbroken reaction to his supposed infidelity and mental decline, delivering the crushing line, "I need a few days to clear my head."
Leaving him totally alone.
Blake's internal struggle is laid bare in this moment. He briefly considers making her stay, horrified by his own thoughts. This glimpse into his breaking psyche underscores the depth of Krista's psychological torment.
He's losing himself.
He's been systematically stripped of his job, reputation, financial security, and now his love and sanity.
Now completely isolated, Blake discovers long, dark hair in his Chinese takeout. Amanda's hair, again meticulously planted by Krista to fan the flames of his hatred.
Just relentless.
This pushes him to the very brink of his sanity, making him imagine physically harming Amanda, though he ultimately resists. He feels utterly victimized, his internal monologue a desperate litany. Whitney has infested my home with fruit flies, given me a horrible rash, killed my fish, and wrecked my relationship with the only woman I've ever loved.
He genuinely believes she's the monster.
He is a man stripped of everything he holds dear, and increasingly losing his grip on reality, his paranoia now fully consuming him.
This raises a truly profound question for us. How much can one person be pushed? How systematically can their reality be dismantled before they truly snap?
It feels like he's right there.
The entire narrative, from Blake's perspective, covering all these incidents up to Chapter 68, shows a methodical psychological dismantling designed not just to ruin his life, but to break his mind. It's a chilling study in the art of mental torture.
Where everyday things become weapons.
Exactly. Everyday objects and minor inconveniences are weaponized, amplified by his escalating paranoia and isolation. He is an unwitting pawn in a much larger, more sinister game, his own mind turned into a prison.
It's brilliant writing how McFadden makes these small things feel so huge.
The genius of McFadden's writing is how she takes these seemingly small acts and, through Blake's spiraling perspective, makes them feel utterly catastrophic, creating a palpable sense of dread and helplessness for the reader.
So we've seen Blake's world systematically picked apart piece by piece, but then, as if things couldn't get any worse, a new, far more sinister layer is added with the discovery of Mr. Zimmerly.
Yeah, this is where it gets really dark.
Blake, walking home and distraught after Krista's departure, passes his neighbor, Mr. Zimmerly's house, and notices the garbage bin still out for 2 days, an unsettling anomaly for his fastidious neighbor.
Something's wrong.
Concerned, he enters Zimmerly's unlocked house and finds him dead in the bathroom, appearing to have slipped and hit his head. It seems like a tragic accident, a mere unfortunate coincidence.
But we know better by now, don't we?
But nothing in this story is ever as it seems.
And that's exactly right. Zooming out, we see this isn't just a random act. This is Krista escalating her campaign of destruction to a horrifying new level, meticulously ensuring that every piece of evidence points back to Blake.
Krista killed Zimmerly.
As we later discover through Krista's chilling, unfeeling confession, this was no accident. She reveals with a cold, detached efficiency. Mr. Zimmerly was shocked too when I hit him on the head.
Oh my God.
She used an antique clock we bought at that flea market that conveniently had Blake's fingerprints on it.
The clock. Of course.
To further ensure Blake's implication, she deliberately stained the living room floor with Zimmerly's blood, knowing Blake, with his obsessive cleanliness, would inevitably find it and attempt to clean it,
Planting his fingerprints at the scene.
thus transferring his fingerprints and implicating himself further. This isn't just murder. This is Krista actively and ruthlessly framing Blake for murder, moving beyond psychological torment to outright criminal incrimination. The premeditation. It's terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying.
The consequences of Zimmerly's death quickly materialize, tightening the noose around Blake. Detective Garrison arrives at Blake's door, investigating the death.
The police get involved.
Blake's prior, very visible confrontation with Zimmerly about the trash, culminating in Blake throwing a trash can in frustration, makes him a prime suspect in the eyes of the law.
He looks guilty as hell.
Garrison's ominous parting words, delivered with a chilling undertone, "You don't have to answer questions, not yet anyway," leave Blake feeling trapped increasingly paranoid and utterly alone.
The walls are closing in.
Truly. Driven by sheer desperation, with the police now actively investigating him, Blake begins his own frantic investigation into Whitney Cross, the woman he still believes is responsible.
He has to figure this out.
His initial search yields no digital footprint, an unsettling anomaly for someone her age, suggesting her past is deliberately hidden, carefully scrubbed clean.
A ghost online. Big red flag. The true horror, though, comes when he uncovers a paper bag stuffed into a gap between his kitchen counter and refrigerator, containing what he terrifyingly realizes are dismembered fingers.
Fingers?
Yes. It's a grotesque, stomach-churning discovery that pushes him over the edge, confirming his darkest fears about Amanda and fueling his desperate need for answers.
For truth. Okay, that is horrifying. That pivots the whole thing.
This is the moment the thriller pivots from psychological torment to a full-blown crime investigation initiated by the victim himself, and then the plot thickens, taking a truly unexpected turn.
How?
In a desperate move, Blake calls Tenant High School, Amanda's supposed hometown, posing as John Sanders. A secretary there, after some hesitation, warns him about Whitney Cross, stating plainly that she's extremely dangerous.
The real Whitney Cross.
Or
Amanda pretending.
He thinks it's Amanda. The secretary reveals that the real Whitney was manipulative, wrecked their lives, and was linked to the suicide of a student named Jordan Gallo, who jumped off the school roof after cheating on her.
Oh, a dark past.
The secretary chillingly adds, his parents insisted that she pushed him and made it look like a suicide. This is a profound aha moment for Blake, a terrifying glimpse into the true nature of the woman he thinks he's living with.
Okay, so he thinks Amanda is this dangerous person from Tenant.
Exactly. It's the first crack in the carefully constructed facade. The revelations continue to build, accelerating the pace. Blake, desperate for more answers, drives to Tenant, New Jersey, Whitney's supposed hometown.
He goes there himself, gutsy.
Fueled by a mixture of terror and a desperate need for the truth. He finds her childhood home and, after a tense wait, meets her mother. It's here that the truth violently, sickeningly snaps into place.
What does the mother say?
Mrs. Cross shows Blake an old family photo, and he realizes with a sickening lurch that the girl in the picture, the real Whitney Cross, is actually Krista.
Krista.
No, the teenage girl in that photograph is somebody entirely different. It's Krista, he realizes. The woman he loved, the woman he planned to marry, the woman who was his anchor, is not who she claimed to be.
Oh my God, mind blown.
Her entire identity, his entire relationship, has been a meticulously crafted lie. This is the ultimate betrayal, completely redefining his reality.
The story Mrs. Cross then recounts is utterly chilling, painting a portrait of a calculated, lifelong pattern of sociopathic behavior.
What else does she do?
She tells Blake about her daughter's inherent penchant for revenge, starting from childhood. When Krista's younger brother, Joey, accidentally broke one of her toys at age 4, she, at 7, shoved him off a jungle gym.
Jesus, as a kid.
Her chilling explanation for this act of violence: that's what happens to you if you're not careful. And years later, the girl Jordan cheated with was found murdered, a crime never directly linked to Krista, but strongly implied.
So she's been like this forever, a pattern.
This reveals a chilling, calculated, lifelong pattern of extreme, unrepentant vengeance for perceived betrayals, deeply ingrained in her personality. It demonstrates how early trauma, combined with a particular psychological makeup, can twist a person into something truly dangerous.
A true sociopath.
When we discuss sociopathy, as exemplified by Krista, we're talking about a personality disorder where individuals typically lack a conscience, exhibit a profound inability to feel empathy or remorse, and are highly adept at manipulation and deceit for their own gain. It's a chilling profile.
Definitely fits Krista.
And this brings us to the ultimate terrifying betrayal, the apex of Krista's plan.
Oh.
Blake discovers a suicide note in his jacket pocket, written in his name, placed there by Krista.
She's trying to frame him for suicide, too.
And worse, the horrifying realization dawns on him. The cookies Krista so lovingly baked and offered him, a gesture of comfort, are laced with tetrodotoxin.
Poison. What is tetrodotoxin?
It's a potent neurotoxin, famously found in pufferfish, that rapidly paralyzes the victim's body while leaving their mind fully aware. It's a truly terrifying choice of poison, maximizing mental anguish and helplessness.
That's horrifying. Did he eat them?
He did, but he realizes just in time. He immediately forces himself to vomit, narrowly escaping death, confirming beyond a shadow of a doubt Krista's true intent and her cold, calculated malice.
Thank God he realized. close call.
We then get a rare, chilling glimpse into Krista's, the real Whitney Cross's mind, through her confession. She admits to orchestrating the entire Tenant search, specifically to install Amanda, who she knows is the imposter Whitney Cross, in their home.
So Amanda is an imposter too?
Yes. Krista confesses to using Elijah, a former high school computer nerd infatuated with her, to create her new Krista Marshall identity and to evict Amanda from her old apartment, making her vulnerable.
Elijah, the computer guy.
She then meticulously planted the idea of Blake's job loss and financial woes among her friends and family to make him more amenable to taking a tenant. It's an elaborate, multi-layered deception, revealing the staggering extent of her machinations.
A web of lies spanning years. What was her motive? Why Blake?
Krista then lays bare her deeper, twisted motivations, telling Blake, "I really loved Jordan. When I found out he was cheating on me, it destroyed me. He broke me." She felt betrayed, not just by Jordan, but by her own mother who blamed her.
So Blake was a replacement? Or revenge?
She saw Blake as a way to build a normal life, to escape her past. But when she suspected him of cheating with Stacey Parker, a suspicion she herself manufactured, the cycle of revenge began anew.
She made up the cheating, just to have an excuse.
Seems like it. This raises a truly pivotal question. What does this all mean about the nature of identity? Krista, the true Whitney Cross, meticulously stole Krista Marshall's identity, only for Amanda Lenhart to then steal Whitney Cross's identity.
It's insane. A hall of mirrors.
It's a profound reflection of how fragile and constructed personal identities can be, especially when fueled by deep psychological trauma and a consuming desire for revenge. The real insight here is how identity, often viewed as immutable, can be a carefully constructed weapon.
And how easily we trust those identities.
The story argues that our perceived selves and our trust in others' identities are far more fragile and manipulable than we dare to imagine, especially when fueled by deep-seated trauma and the thirst for revenge.
Krista's reign of terror culminates in a series of ruthless executions, a horrifying escalation of her twisted plan. She targets Stacey Parker, the woman she suspected Blake of cheating with.
Stacey. Secretary.
She sedates Stacey, drives her to the woods near Telmont, and then, in a chilling, unrepentant confession, recounts, "I sliced up her face pretty good before ending it all. After about 40 minutes, she was begging me to kill her, so really it was an act of mercy."
Oh, God, that's pure evil. The souvenir. The fingers. That was Stacey.
That was Stacey. A truly disturbing insight into her lack of empathy and her capacity for calculated cruelty. A grotesque trophy of her vengeance and a clear message to Blake.
Her cold, calculating efficiency extends to Elijah, the loyal computer nerd who helped her create her Krista Marshall identity.
She killed Elijah, too. Why?
She murders him because, as she puts it, his infatuation with me has become annoying and it's starting to interfere with my plans. He knows too much, and his presence is now a liability she cannot afford.
Just tying up loose ends. Cold.
What's truly chilling here is her utter lack of remorse, her almost clinical detachment, almost like she's ticking off boxes on a to-do list. First Mr. Zimmerly, then Stacey, now Elijah, only two left.
Two left. Blake and Amanda.
It showcases a truly sociopathic mind, devoid of empathy, entirely focused on executing her twisted vision of justice and settling her perceived scores.
With Blake poisoned but miraculously surviving, and Stacey and Elijah dead, Krista moves to her final, terrifying acts. She still plans to kill Blake with the tetrodotoxin-laced cookies.
She's not giving up.
Determined to finish what she started. She also lures Amanda back to the brownstone, intending to kill her as well, tying up all loose ends.
The final showdown.
In a moment of breathtaking, almost darkly comedic irony, she confesses her true identity to Amanda, stating, "Whitney Cross was some teenager who disappeared a while back, probably murdered or something. She wasn't using her identity, and I needed it."
She tells Amanda she stole Whitney's identity.
What? The woman who meticulously built a false identity now reveals the elaborate deception to her intended victim, just moments before what she believes will be Amanda's demise. It's a final, twisted flourish.
Blake, poisoned but miraculously still alive, stumbles and hallucinates as he makes his way back to the brownstone, driven by a primal need to confront the truth.
He goes back after being poisoned.
He does. He finds Krista and sees Amanda slumped on the sofa, her midsection drenched in blood. Krista, knife in hand, confirms her horrific actions with chilling nonchalance, stating that Amanda deserved it, just like the others.
Oh, no. Did she kill Amanda?
It looks that way. It's a scene of utter carnage, the culmination of Krista's bloody revenge, with Blake as the unwilling, dying witness. The full scope of her monstrosity is laid bare.
In a final, desperate act, Amanda, who, let's remember, is the imposter Whitney Cross, not the real one despite her own severe injuries, manages to summon a last burst of strength and stabs Krista.
Amanda fights back. Yes.
Blake is witness to Krista's death, the woman he loved dying in front of him, ironically confirming all his ridiculous conspiracy theories and validating his unraveling sanity.
Wow. So Krista dies.
Even as she dies, he still professes his love, clinging to the illusion of the woman he thought she was. To this, she replies with her last chilling breath, "You don't even know me."
Chills. That line, "You don't even know me." It's the absolute truth, isn't it?
It's a tragic, horrifying end to a love built entirely on a foundation of lies and vengeance, a final brutal honesty from a deeply deceptive individual.
This raises an incredibly important question, one that resonates long after the final page.
Yeah.
Can true love truly exist when one person lives an entire meticulously constructed lie?
Probably not.
When their very identity is a deception from start to finish? And what does it truly mean to know someone, especially when they are so deeply fractured and deceptive?
Yeah, how can you know?
Krista's last words underscore the profound, unbridgeable chasm between Blake's perception of her and her true, terrifying reality. It's a testament to the fact that you can share a life with someone and yet never truly know the monster lurking beneath the surface.
Fast forward 1 week, and Blake is recovering in the hospital, having miraculously survived the tetrodotoxin poisoning and the ensuing trauma.
He made it through, thank goodness.
His father, worried sick, came to be with him, offering a much-needed anchor in a sea of chaos. Blake reflects on Krista's true nature, the monstrous reality finally undeniable.
The fog has lifted.
He also recognizes Amanda's tragic story and finally finds compassion for her, understanding that she too was a victim caught in Krista's web. "Krista was right, I really didn't know her," he acknowledges.
That's a huge realization for him. Through their shared trauma, Blake and Amanda forge an unexpected bond. Amanda reveals her true identity as Amanda Lenhart.
So that's her real name, Amanda Lenhart.
And her desperate reason for changing it. To escape a loan shark so she can pay for her mother's cancer treatment.
Okay, so she wasn't malicious, just desperate. That makes sense.
This revelation resonates deeply with Blake's own vulnerability and understanding of desperation, creating a unique connection between them. It humanizes Amanda, contrasting sharply with Krista's calculated cruelty.
Yeah, a totally different situation.
And reminds us that everyone carries their own hidden burdens and desperate reasons for their actions, though few are as destructive as Krista's.
So after this harrowing journey, what does this all mean for Blake? What happens next?
He makes a profound, life-altering change, a true rebirth.
Good for him.
He turns down his old VP job at Cobble and Roy, recognizing the toxic environment that had once defined his ambition, the very world that nearly consumed him.
He doesn't go back. Wow.
He chooses to move back to Cleveland and take over his father's hardware store, embracing a simpler, more authentic life he once rejected in his relentless pursuit of corporate success.
Back to his roots. A full circle. What about Amanda?
Amanda, having worked out a payment plan with the loan sharks, will sell the brownstone and pursue her own path, hopefully free of her past.
So they both get a fresh start, sort of.
It's a departure from the high-stakes, deceptive world that almost destroyed them both. A hard-won lesson in the value of genuine connection and simple living. The story concludes with a sense of closure, but also lingering questions about the long-term impact of such profound betrayal and trauma.
Yeah, you don't just walk away from that unscathed.
Blake hopes for a fresh start, a return to a life of honesty and simpler values. Yet, he acknowledges the deep scars, reflecting, "Krista has screwed me up for a long time to come."
Understandable.
It highlights that even with survival, the psychological wounds of such an experience run deep, a testament to the enduring power of the mind games and manipulations that define this deep dive into the Tenant. It reminds us that recovery is not instantaneous.
No, definitely not. The echoes remain. Hashtag tag outro. All right, let's unpack this once more, drawing together our threads. What an intense journey we've been on, delving into the intricate web of deception and psychological warfare woven throughout Freida McFadden's The Tenant, specifically through its core narrative from Chapter 1 to Chapter 68.
Whew. Yeah, quite the story.
We saw Blake Porter's entire life systematically dismantled, not by external forces, but by the very person he trusted most, revealed to be a master manipulator operating under a stolen identity. It's a chilling exploration of how deeply we can misunderstand those closest to us.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this deep dive shows us how incredibly fragile our perceptions of reality can be, and how easily a carefully constructed identity can mask a truly dangerous individual.
Absolutely.
It challenges us, the listeners, to look beyond the surface, to question our assumptions about those around us, and to consider the profound, often hidden impact of past trauma on present actions.
Especially when revenge is involved.
Particularly when that trauma fuels a thirst for vengeance that consumes everything in its path. It truly makes you reconsider the concept of knowing someone.
This raises an important question for you, the listener, to carry with you. In a world where information can be manipulated with such precision and identities can be stolen or meticulously created, how do you truly discern authenticity, both in others and perhaps even more importantly in yourself when your own perception can be so easily skewed?
That's a tough one. Really makes you think.
Yeah.
And here's a final provocative thought for you to mull over as you go about your day. If a sociopath can meticulously plan and execute such elaborate schemes, hiding in plain sight for years and systematically destroying lives without resorting to graphic violence,
Just using mind games.
what does that say about the unseen battles and hidden truth that might be playing out in the seemingly ordinary lives around us, just beneath the veneer of normalcy? It's a chilling thought about the quiet monsters that might exist in our everyday world.
A very chilling thought indeed. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the chilling, complex layers of the Tenant. We hope it's given you plenty to think about.